Hey, good evening, everyone. How are you? I hope you had a great a Wednesday. Is today Thursday? It is Thursday for me. I hope you had a great Wednesday. That's right. Are we already that deep into the week? It's hump day, really? I wow. The week is flying by. It really is. Um, as you can see from the title, good news. That young girl, that 14-year-old missing out of West Miami has been located safe and sound. She was located with that other child who ran away from home too. So I don't know what was going on there. I don't know if this was she was supporting a friend who was having a hard time, didn't want her to go alone, or they both just decided to run away. I'm not sure. But I will tell you more about that later. We also have more information on Susan Simpson and some interesting developments today on that one. Also, out of California, 38-year-old woman found dead in a trash can in OC. Boyfriend arrested. We'll have more on that. Plus, some more details out of Montana. More details out of Montana. The guy found in his tent who they originally thought was a bear attack. They now believe it is a murder. We will get onto that. And I have an interesting story out of Montana. While researching Dustin's case this morning, I came across this really interesting animal story. So we're going to finish the show with that. Tonight, we are going long. There is no late show tonight. Trisha's not doing a show tonight. So we don't have to get off the air in an hour and a half. So we're just going to stay on for the next few hours and talk true crime. That's what we're going to do. So let me get set up and then I'll turn the camera on. Then I'll say hello to everyone and then we'll get going. We will get going, y'all. All right. Where's my story? There we are. By the way, I hope you all enjoyed talking about William Terrell yesterday. It really is a case that has had so many road speed bumps and mistakes. Just so many things that have avoided justice for that little boy. And I think we really need to, well, as a country, a community, a police force, whatever, just need to buckle down. And you know how, like in America, they go back, they say, okay, these original detectives tried their best, but they didn't do a good job. We're going to get a new team in here to have a look with fresh eyes. I don't care how many times you have to do that. I don't care how many times every 2-3 years you have to scrap the old detective team and bring in a new set with new eyes. You just keep doing it until you get results. And if you want to find out what happened to William Terrell, that's what you do. You just keep bringing in new detectives to have another look at it. Because obviously no one can put together a case file or charges in, you know, these new detectives already had 5 years, haven't done anything. So, hey, good to see you all. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you all. Good to be here today. All right, let's talk about the girl out of West Miami. So, not a massive amount of details, but it says missing 14-year-old girl from West Miami found safe. They said they found Alyssa and she was with another girl who had also um, run away from home in Hialeah, and it sounds like she was with her for the most of the time. Maybe they saw my show yesterday. Maybe they saw my show. Maybe the cops just did their job. That's probably what they did. And it says here, according to her mother who was interviewed on Monday, she said, I'm worried a lot. I don't know if she's in a good place or bad place. They are now saying that she has been returned to her parents. So these are the type of stories I got into true crime for. Anytime we can see a young person return home to their family, I'm all for it. I am good. I like those types of stories, and she'll now be able to probably work through whatever issues are happening at home or anything like that. Thanks, Laurie. Good to see you, by the way. STL card says, "What makes you think new detectives will solve the case? Nothing. I don't think they will. I'm just saying, if these detectives are not getting results, Why not just bring in a new team with fresh eyes to have a look over the information? Because after a period of time, you start getting like vision narrowness because you've overviewed the information so many times, and you start becoming concrete in your beliefs or your methodology, and that's why it's good to bring in new people. Danny says, I've known a lot of detectives. I've never known one who wasn't obsessed with closing cases. Well, this particular case has had over 25 different detectives working on it over a decade, and no one has been able to bring any type of result. One of them got fired for overstepping the line and trying to pin the case on someone who wasn't even involved. And yeah, so it's had a bunch of issues, that particular case. Yeah, fresh eyes and ideas. I think it would be helpful because these guys seem very narrowed in on it's the mum. It's the stepmom. Stepmom? No. Foster mum. They are just zeroed in on that, but they have no evidence. No evidence. If they did, they'd bring charges. They wouldn't be going through a coronial inquest. They would be charging her with I don't know, desecration of a human remains or moving a body or whatever, that those types of charges, not killing William, just hiding his body. And they haven't done anything. That allegation's been in the public for over 2 years and not one charge has been laid. Even that stepmom has come out and said, "Charge me." Like she's like, "Charge me. If you got the evidence, charge me. Take me to court." And they've done nothing. So they also said they're willing to let the coronial inquest continue. If they had charges to bring, they would cancel the coronial inquest. So they don't have anything. They have ideas, they have theories, they have some evidence, but not enough. And ain't no one getting charged, and we don't know where that little boy is. So we're not too far away from square one. You know, 10 years is a long time. And you might be like, well, what about Madeline McCann? Yeah, she went missing in a foreign country. It amplifies things multiple times. This is Sydney. This is New South Wales, Australia. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be that hard. If someone took him, someone would have seen it. I believe that's what I believe. Certainly, Gail says hello, Ping in chat. Hello, how are you? By the way, let's say hello to everyone. DJ was here. Elaine always drops in before she has to go to bed. Have a good sleep, my friend. Bye. Laura, good to see you. Laura T. Gayla's here. Marilyn Landis, Mr. Sean. Who else? Carolina's here. Rachel. Marilyn Landis. STL cards. I still feel bad for Melody. Melody, reach out to me sundaywithping@gmail.com. Email me. If you don't want to be in the chat, that's fine, but email me. Let me talk to you in private. RX Girl, good to see you. Care in Canada too. I missed Care in Canada. I hope they're doing well. Danny Mitchell, Mr. Danny Mitchell's here. How lucky we are to have a celebrity. Laurie was here, but she's going to sleep very slowly. Who else do we have? Rachel. Did I miss anyone? Gail's here. All right. Good to see you all. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so no show with Trish tonight. She's having a night off. You have me for the next 3 hours. That's 2 ping. 3. There you go. 3. Not 2. That's 2. 3. So you got me for the next 3 hours. We're going to talk true crime and see what's been going on in the world today. Plus a very interesting animal story out of Montana. I think you're going to like that story because, hey, we like animal stories on this channel. Were you there? Am I going crazy? No, you weren't in the chat earlier. Hey, Share Bear, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so we've got that update out of West Miami. She's been located safe. She's back with her parents now. I am very interested to hear. So they said she was with another little girl who went missing or ran away from home. Is that other little girl okay? Why did she want to run away from home? I would like to know what's going on there. And hopefully now that now that the police are involved, hopefully they can get them some help, get some therapy or whatever, something like that, to find out why two little girls felt the need to run away and cause a giant police operation, you know, for 3 days. So I would like to know more answers about that too. Montana is T-Rex territory? It is, definitely. I'm always here? Alright. Okay, I wanna talk about Susan Simpson for a minute. Very interesting today, this got posted. Clear alert for Susan Simpson discontinued. Discontinued. What do you think that means? Well, I think I know what it means. It means what we've sort of known for a while now, since they were searching in a landfill for her. They do not believe she is alive. This is whatever it is now, it's a recovery mission, not a rescue mission. They're not trying to find her. Like, they're not trying to find her to bring her home. They believe she is deceased. Very sad, but that seems to be the way. They must be convinced to drop this clear alert. They must be 100% convinced that she is no longer alive. What leads them to believe that? I don't know. They've never said what evidence they have to believe that she is dead, but how did they know that she might be in the landfill? They're getting information from somewhere, and it's not from Brad Simpson, her husband. He has not spoken to police, and as we talked about yesterday, one of his friends was arrested in connection with Susan's disappearance. And I'm going to show that to you here. Yeah, thank you for that, Ken's 5. Yeah. Let's play this video.
And the husband of the missing Almost Park mother hit with 2 new charges tonight.
Investigators say that Brad Simpson begged his business partner to hide his AK-47 rifle in the days following his wife's disappearance. And tonight, both men are facing tampering with evidence charges.
KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna joins us live in studio. And Megan, you just got your hands on court documents. What else are you learning?
Well, EC's earlier today, we learned James Cotter, Brad's business partner, was arrested Monday for tampering with evidence in this missing persons case. Well, according to court documents, that's because he allegedly hid Brad's illegal machine gun behind his bedroom wall, and a search dog found it yesterday. 65-year-old Cotter was arrested at his home following the discovery. His bail was set to $500,000. Meanwhile, Brad was hit with 2 new charges just today. He is now facing a tampering with evidence charge and prohibited weapon charge. Records state he texted Cotter on October 8th, 2 days after his wife went missing. He said, quote, "If you're in Bandera, can you meet me at your house? I don't have much time." He went on to text, "Sorry for the urgency, but you're all I got, especially now. Social media is destroying me." When the Texas Rangers
Sorry, who is destroying you? Did you just say social media is destroying you? No, buddy. You destroyed yourself. Because you're a violent. You're a wife killer. That's what you are. I don't care. I don't care if it's alleged. That's exactly what you are. There ain't no one else who was with your wife at the time but you. So ain't no one got any responsibility over her death but you. I ain't got much time. No, mate, because you're going to be in jail for the next 25 to 50 years. Maybe you'll get Mr. Sparky too. Who knows? You would think if you were a smart man after, many decades on Earth, you'd know to walk away. I'm going to make a t-shirt that just says walk away on it. And I'm going to wear it on my show every night because it seems to be a message that's not getting through to anyone. You are able to walk away. You don't have to be in control of every situation. You don't have to win every situation either. You can walk away.
Questioned Cotter if he had the gun. He told them he did it. Meanwhile, since October 10th, Brad Simpson has been facing an assault and unlawful restraint charge. He's accused of assaulting his wife, Suzanne Simpson, before she went missing. The ATF also filed a charge against him that day, accusing him of owning an unregistered gun. Today, I reached out to both Brad and Cotter's attorneys, and they both told me they had no comment regarding these charges. And as far as a search for Suzanne, we know they have been focusing on searching wooded areas in and around Almost Park. For a full timeline of her.
So neither of them have a comment on any of the weapons charges. What about a comment on where your wife is? You realize you have 4 children who are about to lose their father and have lost their mother. And you are being a little sook in jail because you won't own up to your own actions. So much of a man that you are, I heard a lot of things from a lot of people around you that said you're a good guy. I don't think so. A good guy, 1, wouldn't do that to his wife. 2, wouldn't leave his children without a parent. So those stories I heard locally about you being such a great guy, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because that's not what a great guy would do. Great guy would never do that to his wife. And a great guy wouldn't leave his children with no one. Because that's what you've done to your children. 4 kids. 4 kids. Again, we hear this all the time, don't we? The husband does something, the wife disappears, murdered, whatever. He goes to jail. She's gone. We've got a bunch of children who now don't have a parent. It's disgusting. And the fact that he's in jail, acting all smug, being like, "Oh, I don't have a comment." If you had even an ounce of remorse, you would just tell investigators where her body is, because you ain't going to beat the charge. As soon as they find her, you're stuffed. You are stuffed, and they're gonna give you so many charges because you did not help with the investigation. So the least you can do is tell them where you put your wife. That's the minimum. Like, the bar? There's a bar of like common decency, and the bar's really low. It's almost on the floor. Telling them where your wife is literally just above the floor, because that's the minimum you can do to be a freaking human. Wouldn't put a friend in a criminal case, that too. Yeah, he roped his friend in, so now his mate's in jail on a weapons charge for helping him. So now him and his good buddy are going to be spending time at the pen. Everyone is always a great guy except for the murder, right? How many times do you hear when someone is killed and they're like, they were the best person ever? If they're alive, how many people do you think would come out and say that? Like, none, right? It doesn't matter who it is. Never found Mapta either. I get the same vibes from both of them, from Naresh and from him. They're like controlling, like even in arrest and in jail, they're still trying to control the narrative, and they think they can control how the investigation is going to go. Both of them do it. Naresh does it with his stupid interpreter stuff and delaying court hearings and I want a fast trial and this and that. This guy does it by not talking and thinks he can control how the investigation is going. And I'm the king of where I put my wife. They will figure it out eventually, and I hope they freaking come for you with every charge under the sun legally allowed in the land of Texas. I hope they do. Sick of men. Sick of it. I'm sick of reading about it. Sick of reading about men who hurt their wives. What happened to the vows that these men read? When you get married, you often read these set of vows to your wife, right? I'm a guy, I can tell you what that might be like. That is one of the most heartfelt things that a man will ever say to a woman, right? Like, guys are not really big on that whole, like, in our feelings and stuff like that, but that one thing is supposed to be the one pure thought you have about the love for your wife and how you're gonna take care of her. And I think, you see what these men do to their wives a few years later, 1 year later, 5 years later, 40 years later. You made a promise to that woman and you didn't keep it. To me, that says more about you than it will ever say about her. It really will. Snap Crackle Pop says, "Oh, this is in Texas. They don't play." That's right. Old Sparky is getting warmed up because I'm sure they'll find some sort of aggravating circumstance to bump it up to capital. They could, because she was in a DV situation. They may be able to tag DV onto the murder charge when he eventually gets done, and there you go, capital murder. So we'll see. And he had a firearm, commission of uh, a violent crime. He may be able to do it with the firearm too. We'll see. Dr. Phil ain't gonna be a help this guy. Nah. Ain't no one gonna help you. But yeah, it frustrates me when I read these stories. Same with Naresh Bhatt. You know, I think some of these men think it's a one-sided relationship, right? Really. They think they are the king and their women will say and do whatever they want. And they are the decision maker, whether her life ends or starts, or they have a baby or they don't, or they buy a house or they don't, or they go overseas or they don't, or like, stuff like that. That is the wrong outlook. If you ever find a man who thinks like that, just turn in the other direction because you may end up a victim like this. That man will never give you the light of day in his life. It's a partnership. That's what it is. It's a 50-50 partnership. That's what marriage is. That's what relationships are. Each person brings the same amount to the table and they have the equal say. That's the way I live my life. And that's the way you hope when you hear these beautiful stories of these couples and that they do the same thing. But you see these controlling a-holes who can't seem to deal with their life unraveling. Oh, my wife wants a divorce or she wants to leave me. Who cares? Good. Okay, your marriage broke down. It happens. Okay, you don't have to kill her. Just leave. Go find a new woman. There's plenty out there. You don't have to hurt her. It's crazy. Snapcrackle Pop says it's because of money. Yeah, I get that, but again, it goes back to what I just said. It's a 50-50 partnership, right? So whatever you made together in a relationship, it's 50-50. She brought something to the table, you brought something to the table. I don't care if you're the one who went and worked every day, 8 till 8 at night, and she's the one who was at home doing whatever, and she was a stay-at-home mom or whatever. Who else raising your children? Who else is cooking your dinner or paying the bills or doing the shopping or making sure your mum is okay or making phone calls and this and that? It's the same. She brought something to the relationship. She deserves what she brought to the relationship, right? She emotionally supports you to do a better job during the day. You wouldn't be able to do it without her, right? Same. I know. But selfish people. Emotionally crippled and stunted men could be. I can't stand men who are like, oh, all my wife did was sit at home and with the kids. You know how hard that is? Do you know how hard it is to like raise 4 children? I don't want to sit at home all day with 4 kids. Do you? I don't. Do you know how hard it would be to wrangle 4 children 7 days a week, 24 hours a day? That's why nannies make so much money. Nannies for the rich and famous, they make like $500,000 a year because rich people are like, hey, we had these children, but far out, they're a lot of work. That's why nannies make a fortune. And Gayla says, mine hated that when I worked. I earned more for less hours, so couldn't handle it. Hold on. I have no problems with a woman earning more money than a man. I don't think there's any shame in it either. It's just sometimes maybe she has a different career opportunities than the guy does, and all that tells me is that the guy should try and either he does something that he loves and they're both okay with it, or he needs to try harder and try get, a different promotion, a different workplace, something like that. Try and better himself. Sherbet says, now I'm feeling bad. I'm always double with the double stuffed Oreos. Gayla says, I was a nanny and also a nursery teacher. It's interesting. Too tired to text tonight. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to go on a rant. It's just like, how many stories do we read? At what point do we try and figure out how to find out how to stop this more earlier on and find out the red flags? Like, I wonder how many women do we bury every year due to DV murders? It's got to be thousands, right? It just has to be. It's like we're in biblical times. Don't like your wife, she wants to leave you. God says you can kill her and smite her. Hold on. Let me figure it out. What's the USA? Here, let's go to the Bureau of Justice and Statistics from 2021. Percentage of murder victim by sex and relationship of victim to alleged offender. So intimate partner, there we go. Female outweighs male by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 to 1. And then you say friend or known person. Actually, that's interesting that the male in that one, friend or other known person, males are actually higher in that one. That's like other men, maybe killing other men. And relationship unknown men. So it's very interesting. The only one that a woman has is the most at risk or has the highest statistic is intimate partner. Not men, although there are a few, you can see here, a few men are killed by their either other male partner in a same-sex relationship, could be, or a female has killed her male partner, which does happen, just not super frequently, but it is a thing, and we should recognize that. But look at the disparity. Like, it's not even close. Like, these other ones are sort of close. You can see, they're only 1.5 times or 1.25 times. This is 4.5 times to 1. That's how the distance between the two is not even comparable. It doesn't give me a number though, unfortunately, I don't think, does it? No, it doesn't give me an actual number unless ping is crazy, which could be true. Here, the number's right there. So, of the estimated 4,970 female victims of murder and non-negligent manslaughter in 2021, data reported by law enforcement agencies indicate 34% were killed by an intimate partner. So what is 34% of 4,970? Can Ping do the math? Probably not, but I can do it. I can do napkin math. Well, percentages were never my thing. Okay, divided by 3. No, not that one. 4,970 divided by 3. So it's a rough math. So yeah, about 1,600 females in this given year in 2021 were murdered by their intimate partner. 1,600 across the USA. That's a lot of dead ladies. Very, they're very awful. About 1,300? Okay. I did some napkin math, so I just divided it by 3. So you get it's like 33 in recurring. It's a little higher, so yours is probably a little closer. So like between 13 and 16. That's still a lot of women. That's a lot of mums, that's a lot of wives, that's a lot of, aunties that are just gone through violent acts of their partner. And then, we only read a few of them every year, so the ones that make it to us in the paper are just the worst of the worst. There's others that happen every single day. Very, very awful, and we still don't know where Suzanne is, where Mampta is, and these men have hidden their bodies so well that we haven't been able to find them as of yet. 1689. There you go, DJ. Good mathematics. Wait, what number did I get? I got 1656, but I just did it. Yeah, like I just divided into 3. Napkin math. That's Ping's napkin math when I can't figure it out in my head while I'm trying to talk to you guys at the same time. It's very hard to do math, run a show, think about what I want to say, and read the chat. 1689. Yep. All right. There we go. There, my rant is over about men who are losers. All right. Let's head to California. I want to talk. Oh God, it's the same type of story. Maybe we won't do that. I was going to tell you about a story in California, but it's the same. It's the same story. It is literally the same story. Hold on. Fine. I'll show you. Yeah. Let me refresh this.
Several new details are coming into the newsroom in the murder of a 38-year-old woman in Costa Mesa. Police say 49-year-old Daniel Allen Ulrich was arrested last night in Glendale at the home of a family member. They say he murdered his girlfriend, 38-year-old Julie Ann Sinetra of Irvine, and then stuffed her body into a trash can at his home on Maple Avenue in Costa Mesa. The case now goes to the Orange County District Attorney to consider charges.
There you go. Another man stuffing a girlfriend into a trash can. I'm sure if you ask a psychologist what that means, they'll probably tell you that it literally means they think they're trash. A 38-year-old woman has been identified after authorities said she was killed by her boyfriend and stuffed in a trash can in Costa Mesa. They're saying the incident unfolded Tuesday afternoon at the suspect's home on Maple Avenue, and according to the PD, that's where the victim, identified as Julie Ann Sinetra of Irvine, was found in a trash can in the backyard of the home. The woman's boyfriend, Daniel Allen Aldrich, 49, was arrested on suspicion of murder several hours later at a family member's home in Glendale. It's always Glendale. Even in Arizona, it's always Glendale. Additional details about the woman's death and what led up to it are not available. An investigation is ongoing. The case is now in the hands of the Orange County DA to consider charges against Aldrich. So let's see. Will they show us a photo of the scene?
We have breaking news tonight at 6:30. I'm Colleen Sullivan. David Ono's off. We have new details about a death investigation in Costa Mesa. Police say they have arrested a man in Glendale.
So did he put her in those bins behind the house there? You see a green lid bin. Is that a purple lid bin too? Just, storing bodies in a bin.
He is accused of murdering a female friend. Investigators say they received a call about a woman dead in the backyard of her home near Maple and 19th Street earlier today. Air 7 overhead a short time ago where crime scene tape covered the home. Police have not identified the 38-year-old victim or shared any details on a possible motive. We will certainly bring you any new details.
Did they say that they got a phone call about a dead body in the backyard of a home? That's pretty bonkers. Did someone just look over the fence and be like, "Oh, there's a dead woman there. I should probably call 911." That is, I don't know what you do about that. I mean, of course you call 911, but Yeah, that guy seemed very lazy. He couldn't dispose of her body, couldn't think of a way to get her out of the home. Probably a weak biatch, couldn't lift her because he's too weak. Couldn't lift her like dead weight and was like, "Yeah, I'll put her in the bin. No one will ever find her." Maybe a family member. No, they didn't say it was a welfare check. That's not what they would have said. That was a welfare check if it was a family member. Hold on, let me. What's the wording?
Street earlier today. Air 7 overhead a short time after say they received a call about a woman dead in the backyard of her home near Maple.
They received a call about a woman dead in the backyard of her home. Reminds me very much of that one in Arizona. You remember that one a few months ago where the husband said she went biking or something on a trail, and then he told police like, "Oh yeah, I don't know where she went." When they went to the home, they found blood evidence. When there was like they came in the home, the cops had to act very cool and not get not alert the suspect that they're onto him. They're sort of walking around going, "Oh yeah, so when did you last see your wife? Look, let me just take some notes here. Oh, it was 11 a.m. this morning. Oh yes, that's as well. Okay, all right. You know, we're very concerned for her. We're definitely going to look for her." But at the same time, they're like, "Oh my god, there's blood everywhere." Like there was just blood all over the doors, on the floors, on the back veranda. And that's sort of what reminds me of this one where maybe because the neighbors had seen him dragging her body and beating her in the backyard of the home for the one in Arizona. And I was like, I wonder if something similar happened here where a neighbor witnessed a disturbance and then kind of peeked out the window and then just went, "Oh my god, I hope that's not what I actually saw." Rachel says, "I sure hope some neighbor didn't unsuspectingly open a bin on bin night. They're trying to sneak their own rubbish in and they open the bin up and there's a dead woman in there. That'd be terrible." Right. He washed the lawn where she had been lying, sleeping, he said. "Yes, I often let my wife go sleep on the lawn." Yes, it's a normal thing. No, I don't think that's ever happened. Um, Let me see what we can find about the victim. I want to see if I can find a photo of her. I hate when we can't show you a photo of the victim because I don't care about the guy who killed her. He can just go rot in jail. But I like showing the victim because, they should be remembered. Let me see. Her name is Julie Ann Sinetra. No, that's not her. The results are getting really weird on Google. Like when you search like a news item like true crime or whatever, and you go, "Oh, I'm looking for the victim of this person," or like, this person died or whatever. And then you look in images, they'll give you like 5 different examples that are all linked to news articles. And they're like, "Yes, Ellen DeGeneres is definitely the murder victim you are looking for. Yes, we believe so." And it's not. It's like, no, that is Ellen DeGeneres. She is not the woman who was killed on 42nd Street today. All right, let's see. They say the Costa Mesa police have released new details surrounding the grisly discovery of a woman's body inside a trash can on Tuesday. Officers were initially called to a home in the 1900 block of Maple Avenue and found a deceased woman at the scene. Neighbors told KTLA that the victim was found in a trash can in the backyard. They're saying the Costa Mesa Police Department confirmed those reports Wednesday morning and identified the victim as 38-year-old Julie Ann Sinetra of Irvine or Irvine. They say area residents said the neighborhood is usually quiet, and they were shocked to learn a deadly crime had happened in their neighborhood. One man spoke to KTLA on Wednesday morning and said he didn't know much about his neighbors and that he'd only seen the woman coming and going from the home. He believes that she moved in 4 or 5 months ago. Public records indicate the residence was sold in June 2023. The neighbor said, I pass by here 2 to 3 times every single day for 7 days a week. I've never seen anybody there, according to according to a neighbor called Barbara Bruce. She says it was for sale, and I know it was sold, but I never saw anybody move in there. Why, are you looking for people who move into places? Is that a pastime that you have? Do you sort of play Monopoly, but with your own street? So when someone buys a house, do you put a little, like, house and then a hotel on it? Is that sort of like a game you play? Like, or you're just one of these neighbors who seems to know everything about your street? Maybe she does. Maybe she plays homemade Monopoly with her own street. That would be interesting. Let me see. I really want to find a photo of her. Give me 1 second. I want to see if I can find a photo. All right, let me check here. There's got to be. Someone has to know this woman. Someone has to know this lady. That is very strange. When you search her name on Twitter, nothing comes up. Like, nothing at all. Something tells me that her name has been misspelled. So this is really a very strange thing I've seen happen before. Some police departments won't give you the proper spelling of a name. They'll change a letter in it, they'll add a letter, they'll change something about it, and it's so you can't research the victim as easily until they want you to know. And I find that weird. I don't know why they do that, but I know me and Sean had we were looking into a case recently. Um, I was actually it was a while ago, and it was about a young girl who went missing, and they changed her name too. Me and Sean were actually able to track down her real name, and her name was spelt differently to what the police had given out. And me and him were speculating on, like, why would they do that? We came up with some good reasons, but we're not sure why this seems to be a trend. Nine says we had to turn the AC back on just now. Temps were in the 80s today. Wow, that is hot for October. Shouldn't you guys be getting, like, it's it's like a month away from Thanksgiving. Don't you guys have snow and stuff at Thanksgiving? Isn't that the whole idea? All right. I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything else about this lady. That's really annoying. Oh no. So a couple of hours before I got on the stream, I was following a car chase out of California. Beautiful car chase. There was no audio. I was just watching it on I think it was ABC7. Um, and they were following this car through, like, all these beautiful areas in SoCal, through the hills. It was so pretty, and we're just watching this little black car, like, drive through the freeway for hours. But unfortunately, it's ended badly. Suspected car thief dead after high-speed chase crash on live TV. They say a woman died after she was possibly ejected from the vehicle she was driving following a lengthy pursuit that ended in a high-speed crash on the 5 freeway Wednesday afternoon. The pursuit began with the Los Angeles PD following an alleged stolen Honda CR-V about 1:45 p.m. near the eastbound 210 freeway and Polk Street in Sylmar. About 2:30 p.m., the driver, only identified as a woman, was on northbound 5 freeway. That's that place from yesterday that I can't pronounce. You guys will have to tell me how to pronounce it again. She was topping speeds of over 100 miles per hour as California Highway Patrol officers continued the chase. After a series of risky moves, including one point faking an exit, then quickly changing course back onto the freeway before pursuing CHP officers could follow, the woman crashed at about 3 p.m. as she tried to exit the southbound 5 freeway. It appears she may have been ejected from the vehicle, and CHP have confirmed she is now dead. Ah, that is awful. To be ejected from a vehicle and that's your last moments on earth. That's awful. That's horrible. Let me see if I can show you the the thing for it. Hold on. It was this one, right? I wonder if they pulled the video due to the graphic nature. It was this one. I was watching this one earlier through Fox 11 Los Angeles. Here's that little CRV. There it is, and you can see the California Highway Patrol chasing after it. This was earlier today. You saw it live. I didn't see the crash, but I saw them driving around SoCal. Ah, wow. I can't believe she got ejected. That's awful. Carly Gregg denied new trial. Carly Gregg? Is she the woman who pressured her friend, the guy on the phone, to end his life? Is that her? Names are not always good for me. Please wave after the car crash topic. I will. I'm not gonna show it. I just wanted to show what it was beautiful. Hold on. Not the end of it. Where's the mount? She was in this mountainous region for a while. It was so pretty. And everyone in the comment, yeah, here. Look at this. Look at the view from the chopper. It's so beautiful. And I was sitting here for like an hour going, wow, what a beautiful region of California. I was like, this is so great. Like, what a nice stream. Anyway, they're saying that this person, they didn't live stream it, did they? Hold on, I'm gonna take you guys off this live stream for a second. You guys can't see, can you? Okay. Hold on. I just want to check what goes on down here. Oh my god. Oh, she really did. Oh wow. Oh, I can't. I don't want to show it. Oh no. That's really the. Oh, she really crashed. So if you saw that earlier, you just saw my reaction to it. I never saw it. I was getting ready for the live stream. I sort of had it on in the corner, and then I was getting ready, and that was it. And then I never saw what happened at the end. Wow, that crash was bad. No wonder she died. That is. I don't think. Can we show it? I don't think we can. What I'll do is I'll post the link here. This is what channel is this? Fox LA. Yeah, Fox 11 LA. I'll post the link. If you want to see it, you can watch it. I'm not going to broadcast it on my channel. Because there's some people that may be sensitive to car crash, that type of thing. I don't want to do that to them. But if you would like to see the crash, then you can. It's right at the end. That is tragic, really tragic. I mean, I don't care who or what you're going through in life. Your life's not worth losing over a car crash, like a stolen vehicle. She almost lost control a couple of times near the end. She hit a really bad place. So there's like an overpass, and then she hits the side of it and sort of ramps up the side of it. And I think that's how she became ejected. That is just a nasty crash. That's really bad. Hey, love you more. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, wear your seatbelts. You want to steal a car? Wear your seatbelt. Yeah, it's awful. Well, thoughts go out to her family. I mean, they just lost a loved one, right? And it was broadcast to the entire world. The entire world saw their daughter be killed on live TV. That's not something you wish for anyone. Anyway, I'll wave for my friend. We're not showing it anymore. I posted the link. If you would like to watch it, then you can. But that's not. Yeah, that's not good. Never want to hear about stuff like that. All right, let's move on from that. I think I need something to cheer me up after that. I don't like that. That's horrible. Let's talk about the animal story I have. That'll cheer everyone up. And then we'll talk about Dustin's murder in Montana. All right, let me grab the link for this story. If I can find it. We have too many links apparently. I really do need a better system for this. Nope, that's our girl from West Mesa. All right, I'm gonna have to search it, I think. All right. Don't tell me they've lost the link. Because the way I found it before and now it's not here. All right, I'm gonna have to search it. Sorry. This is why. Oh, by the way, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna tell you something. So, someone sent me an email yesterday with a little comment from Reddit. It's a review of my channel, and someone said, "Ping is a really nice guy. Talks about a lot of great cases. Has a very friendly chat, and lets everyone have their opinion. But he might be one of the most disorganized streamers I've ever seen." Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the nice comments. I don't think I'm that disorganized, but sure, a little bit. I want to talk about this guy. Let's watch this to pick up our spirits a little bit. So this man, his name is David. He captures these fish that get into irrigation canals in Montana and puts them back in the Madison River. He rescues around 1,000 fish every year because otherwise they just die in the irrigation canals. And he says they come up through the water pipes and then they can't get back. And he says they often will just die. And he says fly fishing in this particular area is the number one like money maker for the state. And he's like, well, if I don't save the fish, like our economy might go bad because there's no fish for anyone to catch in the river. So he walks around the irrigation canals catching the fish. He says most of them are juvenile, and then he takes them back to the Madison River and releases them. And I was like, what a guy! Can we give him some sort of like key to the city or a, a free pizza or something? Like, can we do something? Yeah, I don't know if we can play. We can't play this one, or can we? These ones with the swirly thing don't like it. Maybe I can find it somewhere else. Hold on. No, we're not going to be able to play it, but that's a shame. Anyway, they say saving fish can be a dirty job, but for one Ennis resident, it's worth it if it means saving the future fish of the Madison River. They say we're standing here on the banks of the beautiful Madison River and just released a few fish which were caught in an irrigation ditch very close by. He says that the irrigation ditch isn't a new thing. Did we just lose everything again? Guys, I have no idea if you can see or hear me. Hold on. My mouse died. So I was reading the story and my mouse died. I couldn't move or change anything, and I was stuck, and I had to go grab a USB cord so I could charge the mouse because the mouse works on a charged battery. Yeah, it's because I'm not organized. That's right. That's right. Thanks for that review by that person, by the way. It means a lot. Yeah, so he's saying that it's got something to do with the water rights in the area. They just have these massive, like, sort of, pipes that bring the water into the irrigation canals, but they don't have any screening or mesh to avoid the fish coming in, and then they're unable to get back. So he walks around these irrigation canals and relocates the fish back to the main river. He says he's been attempting to relocate these fish for over a decade and says he saves at least 1,000 fish every year. He says most of the fish that wind up in these ditches are juveniles, but that being said, there are multiple ditches, and it could be one of those situations where it kind of adds up to a slice of the pie, so to speak. So he's saying because there's so many irrigation canals, what if, like, he only does these ones over here? What if there's heaps of them and it's actually depleting the fish stockpiles of the river? And eventually, if it keeps happening, the fish in the main river may not reproduce as fast as they need to keep the population alive. And he's saying there needs to be a bigger community outreach and a solution found so juvenile and small fish and bigger fish don't make it into the irrigation canals and die, or there needs to be a bigger community effort to look in the canals every week or every couple of days and pick the fish up and take them back to the river. And he says he believes the fish are worth saving because they are the future of the Madison River. And yeah, so I found that really cool. I really like that. He literally does this every day. He goes out and I wish I could show you the video because he rescues all the fish in the canal. And I was like, what a great man to do that. That's a really nice. Mel has the video, at least so far, of what? The fish we're talking about? I mean, I've got the video of the crash. I'm just not going to show it. Nana says I can eat canned salmon. I made patty cakes. Okay. Rory offed it. She did. Aw. Burnt Popcorn says some members of the Buddhist temple near San Francisco used to buy live bait and release them back into their habitat. That's so cute. So there you go. There's my feel-good story for today. I think that is a great man, and he deserves a key to the city or a funding grant or something like that to try and rescue more of the fish out of the irrigation canals. I think it's a really great thing. Rachel says Fish and Game will try and find solutions. I'm surprised they haven't. I think it's got something to do with the pipes, and if they restrict the water into the pipe, it might affect the like farming and all that because it reduces the water flow. So I'm not sure what the solution is, but this one man is trying to make a difference. So what a great dude. Okay, there's my feel good story. Let's talk about Dustin. I want to talk about Dustin because, well, we've had a little bit of an update. It's not a huge update, but it goes into community fear in the area. It says Moose Creek murder investigation continues into killing of man near Big Sky. On October 12, 2024, 35-year-old Dustin was found dead in his tent while camping near Big Sky. They say at the camping spot off the beaten path, flags remain that mark the areas of the investigation. As detectives work the case, the chilling details of the Moose Creek homicide have gone viral. They say something like this because it's fairly an unusual case. They have been reaching out from across the country. We have the New York Times, Good Morning America, and some other places reaching out. According to the Gallatin County Sheriff, Dan Springer, The Sheriff Springer says, despite the cross-continental traction, this is a localized issue. On the same side, it's probably a local issue. There is nothing to indicate that this is nothing but a local issue. Springer goes on to say the details surrounding the case are quite unusual. Certainly, the location and the violence are the two things that are most concerning. On the same side, I need the public to know we have excellent detectives on the case. I know that this sheriff's office has an interest in finding who committed this murder. The sheriff understands why the public may feel unsafe. Now that we have more information, I understand why they feel this way. At this time, it goes back to what we said before. They have to remain vigilant. If they see something suspicious, call us. Don't feel like we are too busy. I went up to the wooded camping site where Dustin was found. It took about 50 minutes to get there from Bozeman, Montana? They say the sheriff says many agencies have scoured the site for evidence. The Department of Justice, the Department of Criminal Investigation, a number of them are helping with different scene processing capabilities, according to Springer. The sheriff is adamant that with the right amount of resources, they will catch the person responsible for the brutal murder. And they're saying the man murdered, Dustin, was a local Belgrade man and father. The more resources we can put into it, the more information we can gather, the more the public is involved, the better off we are, and the better chance we have to solve it. And that is the update. No more information about what they found at that scene of Dustin's murder. No more if they have any clues as to who was up there or who would want him dead. He was camping in the middle of bloody nowhere, and he was supposed to meet up with a friend the next day. When he didn't meet up with his friend, the friend actually went looking for him at the last known spot he knew he was at. He found his campsite, and when he opened the tent, he found Dustin's bloodied body inside. His body so badly brutalized that he thought it was a bear attack. And he actually called it in as a bear attack. But when they came out and a game warden checked the area, they found no sign of any bear interference or like no bear droppings or anything like that, no claw marks, that type of thing. So they concluded that a sharp-edged weapon had done this to Dustin. And apparently he had quite a few chop marks. Chop marks is the words they used on the interview. So I don't know what that means, but I would suspect, since I heard the description and the wording, it says to me that someone might have had an axe or a tomahawk, like either a large axe or a handheld, smaller type axe that people take camping. If that's true, who would want to do that to him? Yeah, that's what I see. That's what I said. I said if a bear had got him and he was in the tent would be shredded. The tent would just be like, there'd be bits of fabric everywhere, and all you'd see was like a dead body in a sleeping bag. But the fact that the tent was still standing and they were able to unzip it tells me it wasn't a bear. I don't think they even needed to bring in the game warden. There was no need for that. That was pretty obvious, but I guess they had to, cross the T's and dot the I's. I think it was pretty obvious to them too. But still not a ton about when we're supposed to be getting this next press conference. I heard from a source that it was supposed to be Monday, but since Monday, they've only given out one interview and that's it, but not a press conference. So I don't know if they're getting close to finding out who did it, but they're sort of delayed doing any more public press conferences. I don't know why. I haven't been able to figure it out. So, like when I go to Gallatin County Sheriff's Office page, they don't have an update from today. Their last update was yesterday about 911 lines being down in the area. Here, I will show you. That was their last update was yesterday. That was from Gallatin County 911 saying that they'd been having some issues. The last update on Dustin was October 17, about a week ago. So in a week, they haven't given really much more details out since then, which is very concerning. At least I hope they're getting closer. Hey JDR, how are you? By the way, since JDR is here now, JDR did send in a donation yesterday, and that was very kind of her. And I did thank her yesterday, but she was not at the show. I also got another one yesterday, which was very kind. Hold on. Let me log in. It was from my friend Kathy, and Kathy said, "I'll leave the message for us. It's something between me and her." But she just says, "For you." Yeah, that's very kind of you, Kathy. I very much appreciate it. It's very generous of you. Same with Laura T. Laura T sent in a Ko-Fi tonight. All three of you, that really helps out a lot. I really appreciate it. I must have pissed off all our big our big donators over the months. They're like, not that Australian guy. He's so annoying. But you guys, that is very kind of all three of you. I do appreciate it. Nonalana says, I have a thought. Are the police becoming more and more silent about cases since the mainstream media is covering cases left and right? Do you think if this type of murder happened in 2001, would the local paper cover it, or would the wider media cover it like it is today? Or would they cover it? They wouldn't cover it at all because it's so remote. It's in Montana. Ain't no one care. Like, do you think? What do you think? What does the chat think? Do you think they would cover it the same way as they do today, or would it just be a local issue and would have ended up in a local paper? No one would have known about it unless you lived there. Let Ping know. I'm gonna grab a drink. Hold on. Just local? Something tells me that anytime you have a crime that has a weird angle to it, it's always going to pick up traction. Maybe if this was someone found dead in a home, so a guy found dead in his home, probably would have just stayed in the local paper. But weird things that have like a weird hook to them, so this guy being found in a tent while camping in like a, national forest type area, and they originally thought it was a bear attack and it was called in as a bear attack. Those type of cases that have weird details tend to get traction on bigger media. I'm not saying it would have been covered like today. I'm just saying it tends to get more attention. Yeah, that's right, Penguin. Dateline mysteries? Never heard of them before? It depends. Some of them I have, some of them I haven't. But that's probably, is that an issue of locality or abundance of cases? So each year there's so many cases that come out, you can't possibly know all of them. Is that what that issue is? Like we're not crazy people that can watch every single murder that happens in every single state in America. Sexual and large financial factors may get wider coverage. Today, I think it's different. Today, anytime you get anyone that dies in any sort of way that's not natural causes, it's all over the papers. It's just everywhere. After 9/11, when everything turned into a 24-hour news cycle, the world changed in the way things were reported. Back before then, you used to get your like afternoon news at 4 p.m. and then you used to get your news at 6 p.m. and then you got your 10:30 late news, and that's all you got. Nowadays, news is like instant. We get news like we get updates on the hour. Like if there's a missing girl in Miami, we might get an update, in 45 minutes. The reporting has definitely changed and become a lot more instant, and the people who are following these type of cases are now able to follow from all over the world, and that's why true crime has just exploded. In the last 10 years, it has just gone through the roof. It is possibly one of the largest viewing figures in the world in news now. It's not financial news, it's not international relations, it's true crime. True crime is one of the fastest growing industries in media coverage. It's always been popular, but in the last decade, it's really gone just through the roof. But yeah, I don't know. I think his case has enough weird factors about it that it may have got a bit more wider coverage. I don't know if it would have gone national, but it may have gone like state level. So maybe like your big state paper back in 2001 may have covered it because there's been such wide press coverage of you know, the police called a press conference. Dustin's sister spoke to the media. Like there was a lot of that type of thing already. So a lot of interest in it, and we're only a week in. So I would say maybe. All right. Let's keep going. What time is it? Okay. So we've been on the air about an hour and just over an hour. Wow, we're about only a quarter of the way through. We've got so many more stories to tell you. If you have a story you want me to talk about and I haven't mentioned it yet, you let me know. But there's one I want to do for JDR. Where is it? JDR wants me to share this with you because she says it's important. So, Gregory Deeron. All right. So, this is about the death of a little boy, and it really is a horrible story. I'm trying to grab this video so you guys can watch it. No, that's not the right one. All right, we'll go to WLTX News, News 19.
And tonight, the Sumter County Sheriff's Department still needs your help searching for the person responsible for the murder of a little 9-year-old boy who was shot and killed while he was sleeping in his home. His name is Gregory Robinson Jr., and Robinson died from a gunshot wound back on October 7th. Deputies say somebody fired into the house while he was sleeping, hitting the 9-year-old boy in bed. Sumter Sheriff's Office is offering a $10,000 reward for any information that could lead to an arrest. And in other news tonight, family, friends, and the loved ones of 9-year-old Gregory Robinson Jr. will lay him to rest this weekend. Robinson died from a gunshot wound while he was innocently sleeping inside his own home in Sumter. Sumter County Sheriff say somebody fired shots into his house, hitting the 9-year-old while he was in bed. No arrests have been made, and there is a $10,000 reward that leads to an arrest in this case. Funeral services for young Robinson will be at noon at the Jehovah Missionary Baptist Church on Manning Avenue.
A young child killed in his home, doing nothing wrong, just having a sleep at his home. How? And what kind of idiot would want to do this? And I can show you a little bit here. This is actually the funeral service for him that happened over the weekend for little Gregory. It's horrible. Look how many lovely people from the community. Well, it looks like all his football friends turned out. They're all at the front there, and they're all celebrating his life. And I'm guessing praying to the Lord that they will give them somewhere, give them evidence to find who killed him. Like, what idiot shot into a home? That little boy just having a nap and was killed. Probably didn't even know he was. Probably didn't even know he'd been shot. And this is his funeral service here, unfortunately. But what I take from this is all the lovely people that showed out for his funeral service for his family. There's his family sitting at the front there. I don't want to show too much. I feel like it's a bit disrespectful, but I just wanted to show like all the. Oh no, let's not show that. I just want to show like all the nice people.
On this day to celebrate.
Yes, to celebrate the life of this young fella. And they got like great people giving talks, and the place is packed. There's so many people that have come out from the community to honor his life and pray for someone to come forward and tell him they know who killed him. I think it's very important. I think it would unite the community if someone came forward and said, "Hey, I saw something. Hey, I heard something." I think it would help. You know, how do you not feel targeted when you have a little boy shot in your own home? And I get it. It's hard. So that was his funeral service over the weekend. I don't want to play tons of it because I feel like that's very sacred for his family. But I just wanted to show how many people. Look how many people showed out. Look, the whole place is full. There's not a seat in the house. Everyone came out to make sure this little boy knew that he was loved and that people were thinking of him. So there we go. I don't think so. My microphone's good. Moonlight View says people don't have personal responsibility at all. Is it a sign of the times? Maybe. The fact no one can put up their hand to say that I did that, even if it's an accident, and say that I was the cause of it, I did something wrong, says a lot about society. Anytime you have a weapon, anytime you have a firearm, I'm not against people having firearms, but I am against people that can't take personal responsibility for their actions and people who can't display safe working with firearms. If you are too much of an idiot to use a firearm safely and not point it towards a home, then you shouldn't be allowed to have one because obviously you're too dumb to be able to have one. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but that is literally the case. You are too dumb to own a firearm because you think it's a good idea to point it towards a home where a child is sleeping. So that's Ping's opinion. All right. So that came from JDR. JDR really wanted me to tell you about it. There is a $10,000 reward for information that leads to the person responsible in Gregory's murder. So let me put that poster up. Hold on.
A $10,000 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest in a murder of a 9-year-old Sumter boy. Sumter County deputies say just before 1:45 in the morning on October 7th, someone fired shots into a home on Bonneau Street, striking and killing Gregory Robinson. Sheriff Anthony Dennis says a $10,000 reward is now being offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction. If you have any information, call the Sumter County Sheriff's Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC.
There you go. $10,000 reward. Did you see something? Did you hear something? Did you see a vehicle? Call the Sumter County Sheriff's Office and tell them what you know and claim that $10,000 reward and get some justice for that little boy. You know, help unite a community. I really do believe that if someone came forward to tell what they knew, it would help heal the community, because I'm guessing right now the community is extremely pissed off. They're extremely annoyed because a little boy died for no reason, and they probably think that, well, why them? Why did this have to happen to them? And why was someone shooting towards their home? So I can get that. So the sooner this is solved, the sooner the people that are responsible are brought to justice, the better off everyone will be that lives in that community. Rachel says, I'll tell you one thing, my hubby doesn't go hunting anymore because he's had bullets way too close. Sounds like a smart guy. Angela says, I remember a case where the mum went to wake her teen daughter, but she was dead, shot while sleeping. It was actually her ex-boyfriend. That sounds really familiar. I'm not sure why that sounds so familiar. I'm trying to rack my brain thinking. That sounds so familiar. I don't know why. There's been a couple of cases like that. There was also that one not long ago where a child killed another child and then staged the scene to make it look like the child had died in their sleep. But the only way they were caught is the mum had put a nanny cam in the home because she thought something was going on, and they caught the entire murder on the nanny cam. The kid was like 12 years old or 11, and they killed a little girl. That was a freaky case. I don't know if they ever did anything with that. Hold on, let's have a look. Here, 12-year-old girl is accused of smothering her 8-year-old cousin over an iPhone. It's this one here. They said a 12-year-old girl in Tennessee has been charged with murder after being accused of smothering her 8-year-old cousin as the younger girl slept. A relative said they had been arguing over an iPhone. A security camera recorded the killing inside the bedroom they shared in Humboldt, Tennessee. The recording shows the older child using bedding to suffocate her cousin as the younger girl slept in the top bunk. They say after the child died, the juvenile cleaned up the victim and repositioned her body. A relative told WREG-TV in Memphis that the girls had been arguing over an iPhone after coming from out of town to stay with their grandmother. The girl was charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence after authorities obtained the video on Wednesday. And they said, I consider this to be one of the most disturbing violent acts committed by either an adult or juvenile that my office has prosecuted. He said they would petition the judge to prosecute the girl who turns 13, or who has turned 13 now earlier this year. They want to try her in an adult court, which would allow for a lengthier sentence, whether that will be through incarceration or supervision with court-ordered conditions. So, yeah, really brutal case. I think I brought it to you earlier this year.
It's unimaginable. Frederick Agee, district attorney in the 28th Judicial District, says the 8-year-old was found unresponsive in her bed in this house on East Mitchell Monday. Wednesday, a tipster said surveillance video from the bedroom revealed what happened. So you've seen the video?
Unfortunately, I have.
What does the video show?
It shows the 12-year-old with her full body weight taking bedding, and it appears to be that the 8-year-old is asleep. She takes the bedding and she covers the 8-year-old's face.
Did the 8-year-old wake up? Did she struggle at any point?
Yes, ma'am. There is a part in the video where we see her struggling.
A memorial for 8-year-old Demiria sits out front of her grandmother's house where the crime occurred. She was visiting from Nashville, her 12-year-old cousin visiting from South Carolina. Their grandmother says the two were inseparable. The evidence, says DA Agee, points to first-degree murder and tampering with evidence.
There is video.
There you go. I'm not going to play all of it because I think we've covered it before, but there you go. Awful crime. And I don't know why a child of that age would kill their cousin. Like, where did she find out how to do that? To smother the child and then reposition her body to make it look like she died in her sleep. If it wasn't for the camera footage, they say they probably would have never figured it out. Because apparently they would have just said that she died in her sleep from, she would have just stopped breathing or something. So, it's lucky for that security camera, for sure. It is an awful, awful crime. I never heard anything about what happened, whether they were able to get her into an adult court or... Let me have a look. 12-year-old cousin slept. I don't see an update at all. Just that she was charged with murder and tampering with evidence. Last update was back in July. I don't have a further update for it. Yeah, said they were inseparable, said they were like best friends, and no idea why they would do that. Angela says, I remember a case where the mum went to wake her teenage daughter. Is that the one that was shot? There was another one that was like that, but it was around 4th of July, and the mum had tried to wake her daughter, but the daughter had been shot from a bullet that had come through the roof and hit her daughter in the head while she's sleeping, and she died from a falling bullet that someone had shot up into the air for celebration, and the daughter died. So, very sad. All right. Hey, stop doing that. Okay, let's keep going. We got more stories to tell you. I ain't doing anything on Delphi. I'll leave that to other people. Leave that to other people to talk about the crazy. But I can tell you about this. 5 men arrested following Davies County child sex trafficking investigation. According to Fox 56 in Kentucky, a joint child sex trafficking operation between Davies County and state authorities led to multiple arrests over 3 days. From October 17 to October 19, the men would reportedly reach out to undercover detectives participating in Operation Phantom with the hopes of paying for sexual favors from children, according to the DCSO news release. Investigators confirmed no children were involved in the operation conducted, but that the 5 men charged were as follows. Robert Pierce, 64, attempted human trafficking / commercial sexual activity with a victim under the age of 18. Justin Chansey, 41, same charge. And then is it Abel Getu, 32, same charge, but also added charge of resisting arrest. Then a person called Jefferson Suentes Cruz, 23, promoting prostitution. And Jeremiah Phillips, 24, has a charge of promoting prostitution. So it seems to be if you were under the age of 30, they gave you a different charge. And if you were over 30, they gave you the attempted human trafficking charge on this. They say Pierce, Chansey Getu, and Suentes Cruz were booked into Davies County Detention Center, according to the DSO, Phillips was cited in court, so a picture isn't available. Hold on a second. Let me grab. I do have a photo of them. If I can get it to open up in a new. There you go. There's a photo of at least 4 of them. There's Cruz. There's one of the younger ones. Very young person trying to get with a child. All right, let me search one of their names. Robert Pierce, Jefferson Fuentes Cruz. Not that one. Let's go to WEVV if it'll go. There we go. So there's that photo in a better resolution for you. Boyfriend shot her from the outside of a bedroom wall. Does sound familiar. All right. So they say here, the DCSO says once the suspects were found, they were arrested and interviewed before being charged and taken to jail. They say the operation was put together to specifically target predators that enjoy harming children. I'm extremely grateful to our partners in this operation, and I'm proud of the way these officers from various agencies were able to come together and do such outstanding work. They are true heroes, and I'm grateful for each of them, and that's according to the county sheriff, Brad Youngman. They say the DCSO said it's an ongoing investigation and more charges are expected in the future. So there you go. All ages from, young 20s all the way up to 64, all trying to solicit children online. It shows you how prolific it is. It really, really awful that there's men out there who seem to think it's okay to do this to children. All right. We got so many cases out of like Kentucky at the moment. All right, hold on. Just trying to load this one. I wanted to see if did we cover this a while ago? Yeah. Oh, yes, we did. Do you remember when I told you about a story about must have been a couple of weeks ago, about a woman who had killed her own mother and cooked her? Well, she's been back in court apparently. They say after KY mother's gruesome death, sibling files for protective order. They say just 2 days after a Kentucky woman's arrest for allegedly killing and dismembering her mother, a sibling of the suspect has requested an emergency protective order against their brother, and it's Toralina Fields, 32, was arrested on October 9th at a Brearley Ridge home, after the dismembered body of her mother, Trudy, was discovered. On October 11th, Toralina's sister, Telby, requested an emergency protective order against their brother, 42-year-old Truett Fields, claiming he made threats against her life as well as their mother's. The petition states that Truett is believed to be armed and dangerous, and that Telby fears for her life, calling her brother a monster. He has called and made threats to kill me, to claim his birthright as the firstborn. She also requested that Truett be barred from attending their mother's funeral as he is unstable and his mother did not want him present. When my body is found, Truett Fields murdered me, she pleaded. Please give me this order. Without it, I am next. Truett was notified of the order by police in California per court records, and a motion was filed for him to surrender his firearms. A hearing on the emergency protective order was scheduled for 10 a.m. on October 29th. This family seems to have a whole lot of problems. So not only did their sister murder their mother, dismember her, leave her body in the backyard, and then partially cook her and leave her in the oven, but apparently their older brother is also mentally unstable to the point of threatening the family that is left behind, to the point where she got a protective order, doesn't want him at the funeral, and says his mum would never have wanted him at the funeral either. What is going on in that family? That family is messed up. There is a lot of weird stuff going on. Let me see if I can find anything about Toralina, because she was supposed to be due back in court. Toralina, here we go. Let's see if we can find anything else about her. Here, they had an update from Fox 56 News yesterday.
Turning now to our top story of the day. Later this morning, a Kentucky woman who was arrested for allegedly killing and dismembering her mother will be in court.
32-year-old Toralina May Fields is charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, torture of a dog or cat, and obstructing governmental operations. Vasi Prokos joins us live in Robertson County with more on the case.
Yeah, guys, we've been following this story since we brought it to you as breaking news just weeks ago. And later this morning, we're expected to hear more from lawyers about how this case will proceed. It all started on October 9th when Kentucky State Police were called to the scene on Briarley Bridge Road after two men who were scheduled to be doing repair work reportedly found a dismembered body behind the home. Fields was arrested and accused of shooting her mother, Trudy Fields, in the head and stabbing her multiple times. In her arrest citation, State Police described finding drag marks in the back door of the home to the yard where the body was discovered, alongside a pile of hair, two mattresses, and a stick on the porch, all of which were blood-stained. The arms, legs, and head had reportedly been removed from the body, and the torso was severed. Troopers also stated that Toralina was casting spells on them. It was being confrontational at the time of her arrest.
You can imagine it's one thing to find out your family member's been murdered, but I mean, it's a whole nother thing for the details and stuff. I mean, it's just literally.
I think she's right. The details add to the trauma. Imagine hearing that about your family member and how their last moments on Earth were. These are the first time I've ever seen the photos of the people involved as well. I think before this, they weren't released to the public. We tried looking for them at the time, but this is the first time I've ever seen them either. This family seems to have a bunch of issues. I mean, now you've got another child of the woman killed claiming that another child, a brother, that lives in California, doesn't even live close to them, is somehow such a severe threat that she needs a protective violence order. I don't know what's going on here, but something is wrong.
Really unimaginable. How do you say, I'm so sad and I want justice for my family member, but I'm so sad because is my other family member not okay?
Now, the family says they keep planning to attend those court appearances, hoping to find answer. Right now, Fields is currently being held in the Bourbon County Detention Center on a $1.5 million bond and has pled not guilty. We were also told she is not expected to be in person at today's court appearance. But for now, live here in Robertson County, Vasi Prokos, Fox 56 News. Guys.
Well, I certainly believe
Oh my god, it's former FBI agent, whatever her name is. Can't remember her name. What is it again? I can't remember. I always see her on Twitter talking about stuff. Yeah. I don't know why she popped up. Angela says, I seen the murderer yesterday or the day before. Yeah, no, I'm talking about when it first happened, when the story came out. Yeah, Jennifer Coffindaffer. Coffindoffer. Coffindoffer? Coffindaffer. Coffindoffer. With an O or an A? I thought it was with an A. Coffindaffer. I don't know. I know that she was on Trisha's one time, and then Trish had a power outage, and she just left. Do you guys remember that? That she was on Trisha's live show on Web Sleuths, and Trish had some sort of power outage, and she just disappeared. Trish came back after a couple of minutes, and Jennifer just left. Never came back. I don't think she's ever been back on the show since either. I don't think she ever came back on. I don't think she was ever a guest again. Yeah. That was pretty weird. Yeah, she didn't even want to talk to the chat. She just sort of went, "Oh, hi everyone," and then just turned the camera off and went. I was like, all right. Could have just stuck around for a couple of minutes and answered questions and seen if Trish would come back. It's what I would do. Obviously, she's very, very busy and has a very packed schedule to the point where she can't do that. You know, you've got to respect people's time. By the way, I request, I send out so many interview requests and I never get anything. But I sent out a request to a Australian journalist who covers a lot of the crime cases in Melbourne, especially the ones that we cover. But I haven't heard anything back yet. I hope so, because I have given up on our one with the lady in Carolina. I just gave up on it. I ain't no one's boyfriend, and I'm not chasing no one. So I ask you once, I ask you twice, and if you don't want to sort of communicate past that, then I just give up. Because I ain't your boyfriend. And I ain't chasing you. Alright, let's keep going. I'm not going to do anything on Sarah Boone either, but if you would like to see more coverage on Sarah Boone, you can on Excited Utterances channel. She's doing a lot on Sarah Boone. I know she's doing a great job. All right. Missing 23-year-old soldier from Northeast Indiana found dead in Missouri. Sergeant Sarah, is it Rock? Was initially reported missing by the U.S. Army Fort Leonard Wood training installation on Monday. And apparently they found her deceased. Here, I'm going to play the video for you.
Missing soldier, originally from northern Indiana, has been found dead. The Army Criminal Investigation Division is investigating the death of Sergeant Sarah Roque. The 23-year-old was reported missing Tuesday and was found yesterday. Roque worked as a mine dog handler at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. The Army has not released any details about how she died or how she was discovered.
Today marks the fourth day of the trial for the man who's accused.
No one cares about the fourth day of the trial. Yes, very much like Vanessa, but I don't think we have a ton of details. Hold on. Let me get out of Abby and Libby. I hope they get justice, but I ain't following it. I'm not going to report on it. They say a missing soldier from Northeast Indiana has been found deceased. They say Sergeant Sarah was initially reported missing by the U.S. Army Fort Leonard Wood training installation in southern Missouri on Monday, October 21st. According to a post on Facebook from the training installation, she was last seen in the Fort Leonard Wood area. The installation said her chain of command and family were unable to contact her. She was eventually found dead on Tuesday afternoon, October 22nd. They said she was found 40 miles northwest of Fort Wayne in Noble County. She had enlisted in 2020 and attended basic combat training at Fort Leonard Wood, according to officials. During her time in the military, she was awarded the Army Commendation Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and the Army Service Ribbon. They're saying her death is currently under investigation by the Department of Army Criminal Investigation Division. That is very sad. I wonder what happened or why. Is this a like a self removal type thing? Yeah, I'm trying to find out if we can find more information on her. KSDK? No, that's the same one. Yeah. That's the same one. You can try Law and Crime. I don't like using their stuff because I feel like I'm stealing from their writers, and I don't like doing that. They say tremendous void, missing army soldier found dead after mysteriously disappearing from the base. There's a photo of Sarah. They saying the base announced shortly after 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday that she had been found dead, but didn't say where she was found or release the cause or manner of death. Just that the Army's Criminal Investigation Division is investigating. They said that she'd worked very hard in the military, and that she was obviously someone's daughter and sister, friend, soldier who chose to serve her country bravely and honorably. I agree. She chose to do something great for the country, and unfortunately, she's no longer with us. Yeah, I'll blow up her photo. There you go. You're saying there's something wrong with the wire in my microphone? Microphone's only like 6 months old. I hope there's nothing wrong with it. It's expensive. This is a $300 microphone. I hope it's not broken. Maybe the cable. Maybe there's something. Maybe I have to get a new cable for it. Maybe it needs a new connection cable or something. We'll figure it out sometime. Maybe if I move the cable, it makes a crackling noise. You'll have to tell me. Or maybe it's just when I move the microphone. I don't know. But I hope not, because it's not that old and it was quite expensive. Well, that is very sad. I hope we get more information at some point soon about Sarah. I mean, why would she do that? I'm not sure. All right, what else do we have? Yes. Yes, I have a kidnapping story, if I can find it for you, in Colorado. They say a Colorado man accused of attempting to kidnap a child from a bedroom. The victim woke up and started fighting back, according to police. Let's play the video.
A man is accused of trying to kidnap an 8-year-old girl from her bedroom in northeast Colorado. This happened in Sterling last Tuesday. Police say 56-year-old Thomas Gallegos assaulted the girl in her bedroom. She fought him off. Police say he took off before officers could get there. They arrested him yesterday. He's now facing a number of charges, including attempted kidnapping, burglary, and assault.
Well, I'm glad they were able to find him so quickly. What a brave little girl, being able to fight him off. They're saying a 56-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of assaulting an 8-year-old girl in her bedroom in northeast Colorado. They say, according to an arrest affidavit, Sterling police were called around 2:30 a.m. Tuesday to a home on Walnut Street for a reported home invasion and kidnapping attempt. The suspect had entered the home sometime between 1 and 2 a.m. that night. Police said the suspect likely came and went through the back door, which may have been unlocked. The victim told police that the suspect came into her room, put a blindfold over her face, and grabbed her out of bed. She awoke and started fighting back, according to the affidavit. The suspect then hit the child on the head, rendering her unconscious, and left. The document states the victim woke up, ran into her mother's room to tell her what had happened. The document states the victim was wearing a cloth clown mask during the assault. The mask was left in the child's room along with a pair of gloves. Police said the suspect also took the victim's phone. Location data from that phone was used to help identify the suspect. According to the document, the suspect, Thomas Gallagher, lived in the neighborhood. The victim's mother told police that the previous weekend he had come over to help install a washer and dryer in the home. He was taken into custody on Saturday on suspicion on the following charges, according to police. first-degree burglary, second-degree attempted kidnapping, second-degree assault, third-degree assault, and child abuse. His next scheduled court appearance is for November 4th. Let's see if we can find anything. Thomas Gallagher. Is that really the mask that he left? Oh my god, that child would be frightened. But I don't think that is. They said it was a cloth mask. Yeah. That is not the Halloween that kids want. They don't want this creepy old man coming into their home. Gaia Go? Okay, Gaia Go. Gaia Go. Sounds like a place you go to go camping. Where are you going? We're going to Gaia Go. What's there? Camping. All right. Yeah, this guy just looks like your typical pervert of an old man. Why would he try to abduct her? What was he even going to do with the child? I mean, I can have a few guesses, but he wasn't charged with any sex crimes, just abuse. They say a 56-year-old man is facing charges after police say he attempted to kidnap a child from her Sterling, Colorado home wearing a clown mask. So you didn't want to frighten the child at all, right? So you chose the most friendly thing to a kid, a clown mask. Okay. He even brought a blindfold with him. Okay, what is going on? My stomach. Come on, we'll eat soon. We got a show to do. The girl was treated for cuts and bruises afterward, but wasn't overly injured. How did he knock her out? Can you knock a child out just by tapping them on the head? They said after she fought back, he hit her in the head and tried to choke her. That poor kid. She was treated for cuts and bruises afterward, but wasn't seriously injured. They say digital forensic and physical evidence helped police identify and arrest him on October 19 after a 4-day-long search for the accused. According to CBS News, this included location data from the girl's phone and security footage. The girl's mother also told investigators that he lived in their neighborhood and was out at their house the previous weekend to help install that washer and dryer. That is really creepy. That he was in their home the weekend before to help do like a menial task and went, okay, let me go back and abduct a child. What is wrong with people? He looks like the husband that killed his wife. He does a little bit. He does. I don't understand what's wrong with people. I really don't. Reminds you of Elizabeth Smart? A little bit, yeah. That guy's a creep. Guys, give me 1 second. I have to fix something. Hold on. All right, there we go. Laura T says he's a sick monster. I agree. I think anyone who's that messed up in the head that they're like, yeah, a little kid lives here. Let me plan to break in here a week from today and kidnap the child is obviously a freaking nutcase. All right, here, we got a paper for him from the Sterling Police Department. What does it say? Oh, it just has his charges and... What are they saying? Hopefully he'll never hurt her. Oh, this is the mum here, Carol Marie Akerfelds. This is the mum here. She's saying, thank you for your continued support. We do have a GoFundMe to help relocate if you'd like to help at all. And thank you to the 2 amazing detectives who did their jobs with great detail to catch this man. Hopefully he'll never hurt another child. That's very interesting. Carol Marie Akerfelds. Where can we find the GoFundMe? Ping typed in the Google. I typed in her name and then I typed in Ho Fund Me. I don't think that's a real website. I think that might be a stripper's dream, but I don't think that's a real place to go and search for stuff. Crackle? I don't know why it's crackling. I don't know why it's crackling. For what reason? We're gonna have to look into that. Yeah, I don't think GoFundMe is a real place. All right. I can't find she says she has a GoFundMe open. All right, let's go to her page. Oh, I don't want to show children. Nope. Okay, that's a good photo. But where's your GoFundMe lady? Nope. We don't want to show children. Your thing is either full of photos of you or photos of little kids. Okay, I don't see any GoFundMes on here. I don't know. She says there's a GoFundMe open, but when I looked for it, I couldn't find it. Let me check one other place. No. Okay, I'm not sure what she's talking about. Because when I search her name, there's nothing that comes up. When I search her suburb, I don't see anything either. Let me try this one more time. All right. I found it. They said, help a brave 8-year-old start over. They say on Tuesday night around 2 a.m., my niece was asleep in her bed when a man broke into the back door and began his attack on her. At the little age of 8 years old, she found herself fighting for her life. He was trying to abduct her, and we believe he was a sexual predator. She was badly beaten. My niece is a single mother of 4 young children. She has promised her 8-year-old little girl to never ever go back to the home they were living in. She has packed up some belongings and is with family until she can afford to move. She had to leave the town of Sterling and her job to do so. They're saying her sister is trying to raise enough money for them to start over. Please pray for them, and your help is greatly appreciated. We need justice for this little girl, so pray this monster gets caught. And then they said, yeah, an arrest was made. So she's trying to get donations so they can move to a different suburb for the mom to try and get them to move to somewhere far away, because I guess that makes sense, right? The little girl is probably traumatized. Do you think she probably would be able to sleep in the same room again? Like, I would say she may have fear of that home, but this is what I ask. I'm not a child psychologist. I just play one, on YouTube. But if you give in to her demands of not wanting to go back to that home, do you teach the child about overcoming adversity, or do you teach them that running away is the right answer? I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's the thought that goes through my mind. But I agree. If he gets released ever, he only lives on the other street. So I sort of get it, but they're the two thoughts that go through my mind. Like, yeah, it's dangerous. If he ever gets Bond again, he lives so close to their home, it makes it very scary. But yeah, I just wonder how that affects child development. If you tell them that anytime something bad happens to you, that you should leave all your stuff and run away, does that affect their emotional development with adversity? Gayla says, I would take that room if I couldn't move. That's an interesting idea. You could also add more security. You could also change the rooms around so that she would have a more inside room that's not on an outside area, like an outside area where it's easier to access without walking past mum or something. That might be an idea, but they obviously want to move, so they obviously want to go. Which I don't begrudge them. I could totally understand why they want to. Yeah. Well, she has to move. It says in the post here that she has to move and leave her job too. So that's never easy. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a child psychologist, so I don't know how that works. All right. Unfortunately, we have another one. I have 2 of these. How does that work? I have 2 of these. What is going on in the country?
Well, police this morning searching for a man who sexually assaulted a young girl and tried to kidnap her in Wilmington. Authorities say that man seen here approached an 11-year-old girl from behind Monday afternoon as she was walking near M Street and Gulf Avenue. He allegedly groped her and then tried to kidnap her, but people living nearby stopped him. The man was able to get away in his car. He's described as being in his 20s or 30s, 5'10", about 240 pounds. He was driving a gray Nissan Kicks with a spare wheel mounted on the rear passenger side.
The week began at
This guy is a real predator. Check this out. Hold on. They say the suspect approached her from behind and fondled her. Well, I guess we can use that word. Fondled her breasts and then attempted to remove her from the area. The police department said in a press release, however, the alleged kidnapping attempt was thwarted by neighbors or by nearby residents who intervened. The suspect was able to drive away in a gray Nissan Kicks with a spare wheel on the passenger side. There's a very grainy photo of him. He's described as a man between 20 and 30 years old, approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighing 240 pounds. I like how the news reporter sort of chuckled. Did you hear that? As he was reading like the weight of the guy, he sort of went, he's 100 and and he sort of laughed and he went 240 pounds. And he was sort of, I don't know if he was like trying to, make fun of him or. I know it's 2024 and everything looks like it was taken by a potato. I know 2 little girls in 2 different areas, this one in California, the other one in Colorado, but I'm glad people stepped in to help. I mean, that shows you that the community is not going to put up with this type of crap. But that poor little girl, 11 years old, do 11-year-old girls have chest area? I don't know. I don't see any 11-year-old girls, so I don't know. What a weirdo. What a weirdo. Yeah, it says, approached her from behind and put his hands on her chest and attempted to remove her from the area. They need to find him. I can't believe he's still out there just roaming around, possibly to attack another child. Some do? Okay. I never see, any females at that age. 1, because I'm a grown man, and 2, because I don't go looking for it ever. Because, like, I don't live at a school or something like that. They got to find him. Blaze says, I hear Wilmington is getting so crime infested with so much drug trade. That is not a good thing to hear about. But he does maybe look like something like that. Hold on, where's his story? Yeah. There's a photo. That's a terrible photo. You could at least give us a better photo, LAPD. That looks like it came from a Ring doorbell from ages away. But you can see the car has some damage here. On this quarter panel here, it's busted in. Even that bonnet looks like it's bent up a little bit, and there's damage to the door here and this window. Is that window taped up with like a garbage bag or something? It's hard to tell, but that almost looks like plastic. It might be a stolen vehicle. Something tells me that might be a stolen vehicle and not like his vehicle. I hope that's not the case because it'll make it even harder to track him down. But there you go, an 11-year-old girl. That poor little girl. I hope she's okay. I don't think I have any other information on him. Hold on. 11-year-old girl. In Wilmington. They do have some better. Let's go to KCAL. KCAL's got some updated like video or photos here.
Story here at 5. The search is on for a man who police say followed, then grabbed an 11-year-old girl in Wilmington.
Well, that girl saved by a neighbor who shouted at the suspect. KCAL News reporter Rachel Kim shows us more of that chilling video.
You just don't expect something like that to happen, you know, especially in front of your house.
17-year-old Yvonne doesn't want her face shown or last name used. She's worried about her own safety after she saw this man, who police say sexually assaulted, then tried to kidnap an 11-year-old girl who was walking home from school. This was near M Street and Gulf Avenue in Wilmington on Monday around 3:15 p.m. Yvonne had just gotten home herself. She first noticed the man park his car across the street. She thought he looked suspicious.
I go back to my business, folding my clothes, and then that's when I see the little girl walking, and I see the guy behind her.
The 11-year-old girl was walking here on M Street. She was almost home when the suspect walked up from behind and grabbed her right here. Now, Yvonne was across the street and saw everything that happened.
No, that's when I seen him like getting close to her, and he puts her arms around her, and you can see the girl trying to like move her way out of it. And I was like, oh no, this is not right. So then that's when I yelled out, "Hey, leave her alone!"
Yvonne says the suspect got startled, so he headed back to his car, telling her the little girl was his niece.
And I'm like, that's not your niece. So then me and my brother, I come out my room running. The little girl was able to run away to her house. I know that she doesn't live that far from here.
The LAPD describes the suspect as 20 to 30 years old, around 5'10", 240 pounds. He was driving a gray Nissan Kicks with a spare wheel mounted on the rear passenger side.
After I looked back, I had chills all over my body. She was light. She was a little girl. So he could have picked her up, took her to his car.
Detectives hope someone will recognize the suspect and contact them with information because they believe it could lead to the identification of other victims.
And I just really hope that they get him. I know that he's dangerous. He is a scary person.
She's right. He is a scary person for sure. I mean, you look at that footage and then he has the audacity to be like, she's my niece. No, buddy, no. Yeah, very lucky that someone was looking out for her that day. That footage is terrifying. Not the first one I've seen either. Let's see. I'm going to pause the thing. So there you go. He sort of walks up behind her. She knows he's there too. You can tell by her body language. You can tell here, like, her body language becomes very closed. Like, her shoulders hunched over like this. Her hands are, like, in the middle. And she's, like, trying to make herself just closed, like almost as small as she can, like almost crouching down sort of thing. You can see it as she gets closer to that wall. What a weirdo. And then he tries to attack her, and then he says to the woman, "That's my niece." Why is there a man just driving around California wanting to abduct a little girl, an 11-year-old? Rachel says, so glad that lady was aware. Yeah, definitely. I know. Luckily someone was paying attention. Yeah, I think she knew like her sense of like spatial awareness I think she knew there was something going on. So there's him in his car. And then she crosses the road. Wow, he followed her for ages. Yeah, he was on her for a while. Maybe she saw him coming from the car up to her where she was walking from. It reminds me of that one that happened in Arizona a while ago. There was a guy that was caught in a very similar situation as this, trying to abduct a schoolgirl who was either walking to school or from school, and he tried to abduct her off the side of the road. Looks so similar to this. They got to find him. I mean, his car was right there in front of the camera. They should be able to track it from when he left that area, and if he passed, convenience store, petrol station, something. And hopefully if they get that footage, they'll be able to track him down. If it's not a stolen car. I hope it's not. All right, I think that's about it. I think that's all I have. I think I'm done. We've been on for over 2 hours, so I think that's it for tonight, everyone. I think everyone wants to go watch Delphi, so I'm going to let you all do that, and I will be back tomorrow, okay? Have fun. I hope you like the earlier hour. I think we're going to try to do that as much as possible to give you a longer show, since from November we're not doing any late show. So there'll be no second show anymore. So we'll try hop on that hour earlier, which gives you guys an extra hour every night to replace not having the late show. There you go. You get one show all in one go. All right, everyone. Good night. See you later. Bye.